Welcome back to Music Theory Logic. Andrew here, and today I'm working on a music theory breakdown that hopefully is going to come out on Friday. And I thought some of the work I'm doing on it might be valuable to you. I'm working on Ghosts by Justin Bieber, and I played the guitar part. It's not quite perfect, and yet since I had already moved my microphone, I don't have the same mic placement, I figured I would just use Flex Audio, a tool within Logic Pro, to make this a lot cleaner. So this is for Logic Pro users. Most of your DAWs will have some sort of audio editing feature that will allow you to do a similar thing. And the principle is going to be the same, but the controls might be different. So let's go ahead into the Logic session. Here we are. And again, my breakdown I'm working on for Ghosts. The guitar part that I have, this is basically the hook. Right now it sounds like this. Just doesn't sound clean enough to me. If we play it with the metronome, it'll highlight where it's out. Now, some of you might listen to it and not think it's very out. It's somewhat subtle, but I think it's enough to definitely work on this. So first of all, what you're going to do is you're going to want to make sure you've gone into preferences, your advanced, and you want to make sure all of these advanced tools, you could hit enable all. This is an example of some audio editing, so that top box needs to be checked. And if you don't have that checked, it's not even going to show up as an option. So if I turn that audio editing on, I double click on the audio. This button over here, we're going to use to turn on flex time. Now we're going to be do flex time slicing. All right. There's lots of different versions of this. Slicing is going to give you the ability to cut where you want. Automatic slicing is going to move the slices to where the computer thinks they are. That can be somewhat helpful. So what I like to do is I like to first start making some markings here. So what this does is it makes it so that if I move any of the audio in between these ones are not going to all get out of time. All right, so then I want to play it with the metronome, listening as we go. So this feels really late to me, one of the main ones I wanted to change. So if I put that to the quarter note, I can stick this, I can make this like perfectly in time. Now this doesn't sound very good in a lot of genres of music, but because this Justin Bieber, this record and this kind of music in general is super processed, the guitar doesn't feel like guitar would feel in, let's say, like a Rolling Stones recording. So we can have it a lot cleaner than other genres would allow for. What we just fixed, we have this. Crazy, right? So it was this. Sounds a lot choppier again. Now here's the fixed part. And this the rest of it is not fixed. So we can go along. Now, when I was first doing this, you can literally make a pretty good assumption that if you go to the closest downbeat or ruler mark, you're going to be in time. Now, always use your ear to double check that. But again, if I do this, let's see if that worked. So now all those slices are directly in time with the grid. This is like manually quantizing audio that's recorded. Sounds like this. I think all of it sounds pretty good except for this first hit. So if I go in here, oh, look, it's not perfectly on the downbeat. I could move that so that it is on the downbeat. All right, let's do an A and B. Here it was unedited. All right, notice how much cleaner it sounds if we play the edited version. Now sometimes, like even though I'm directly on the downbeat there, I kind of feel like it feels a little better slightly behind. That one too. We could have it slightly behind, but not fully. That's going to give it some human element, preserve some of the swing that I played with, but not make it so out that it's audible. And if you want, you could move individual hits like that. And if I go in here, I could try to figure out which one of these is like that second strum. I could make that in time. All right, cool. So hopefully you found that helpful, a little demo in how to fix a guitar part with basic Logic Pro functions. It might look a little bit different in your updated versions. I'm working a few renditions ago from Logic that ties into my never update your system. If your stuff is working and you don't have like a brand new MacBook Pro or Mac Pro, I highly advise you not to be upgrading your Logic. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it. You can apply this technique to all sorts of different instruments, really vocals even. You can edit the rhythm same way with Flex. The final thing I'll say is for those of you out there that are guitar players, trumpet players, keyboard players, and you don't like the idea of editing your performance, I totally feel you, and I like a lot of music that has that raw feel to it. We always have to remember what the context of what we're producing, where it's going to play, what sort of techniques are acceptable in that genre. And because this song Ghosts it's a pop record, it does fall in the realm of pop music more so than like alternative or a vintage sound, and so that allows us to make it perfect and that kind of music. Because everything else is so edited and polished, we really need an extra level of perfection on the performances that again, even if you're a competent guitar player like myself, you're not going to be fully perfect, so don't feel bad about using those tools to make it feel even more like whatever recording you're trying to make. Keep having fun making music. That's what it's all about. If you found this helpful, you would help me out a ton by subscribing to the channel. Once again, my name is Andrew. Let me know any other topics you'd like to see in the comments, and I will see you next time. Have a great one.